guys. Good afternoon. Okay, guys. Can you hear me? Are you there?
Yes. Hi.
All right, so let me share it. Please. And please don't forget to turn your cameras on. Well, I'm at it. Okay, guys, don't forget your cameras. So today we're actually going to start a new section. Last class we went through task 4 of the speaking section, right? Which was the last one. And with that, we finished the speaking section. So we're going to start with the writing section now, the one that comes after the speaking. And I'm not seeing your cameras yet. Okay, so in the writing section is the last one that you get in on the day of your test. It's over 30 points as all of the other sections, and it lasts approximately 55 minutes, but it can last longer. Depends on the instructions mostly. Because only for the task you would have around 50 minutes. So maybe 1 hour, we can say. So in the writing section, we are going to be seeing two different tasks because there are two questions that you're going to have to answer for the writing. One of which is an integrated question, and the other one is an independent question. Now, if you remember, the difference was that with the independent questions, it's all about that specific skill, right? So here in the independent writing, the most important part is the writing. Now, in the integrated writing, on the other hand, it's about summarizing a certain material. So that means that you need to have other sorts of skills and you need to put them to use here. So interestingly, it doesn't work in the same way as for the speaking. First, you're going to have the integrated writing and then the independent. Okay, so we're also going to follow that order. And today and probably next class as well, we're going to be working on the integrated writing. And then we'll start with the independent. Okay, so we'll take a little bit more than one class to work on the integrated. Okay, guys, any questions so far as for the writing section in general? Okay, so in the integrated writing, this is what you're going to have to do. First thing, the first step is you're going to have to read an article. You're going to have to read a short text. It's not that long. It's not like in the reading, for example, but you're going to have to read this article for about 3 minutes. So they just give you 3 minutes to read the article. Now, after you're done reading that article, you're going to have to listen to a lecture. So you're going to have to listen to an audio file in which a professor, a college professor, is going to be explaining this same topic a bit more. So you're going to have to listen to this lecture. It's usually around 2 minutes at most. And after you're done listening, you'll just have the question. They will ask you to write an essay summarizing both the reading and the lecture. And that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to be given 20 minutes to write this essay. So you will read a passage for 3 minutes, then you will listen to an academic lecture, and finally you will have to write your essay summarizing both the article and the lecture in 20 minutes. Okay, so you'll have 20 minutes exactly to write this essay. So is this okay so far, the structure, the description of the task?
Yes.
Okay. So now let's look at the content. What is this going to be about? So let's start looking at an example. Okay, let's start seeing what it's going to be like. So this is an example of an article. This is how your article or your passage is going to look like. So as you can see, it's not that long, although it may look like it is. It has around 300 words, I would say. And in this article, you have 4 paragraphs, right? You have 1, 2, 3, and 4 paragraphs. They are all marked in different colors. Now, this article is an argumentative text, okay? So do you guys know what an argumentative text is?
It gives a position on something, on some topic. It is an opinion and facts to support that opinion.
Exactly, yes, that's perfect, Luciana, that's right. So that is what an argumentative type of text is. So in this case, the writer or the author has a certain opinion, and he's trying to convince the reader of that opinion. So in this case, he's trying to convince you guys of the opinion that he or she has. And as Luciana mentioned, he's probably going to back up what he's saying with some evidence. So some facts to support that certain position. So for example, I could say something like, I believe that people are better than animals, than non-human animals. So that could be my idea, right? That is my opinion. That is what I think. It's not something that I could really prove, but what I can do is I can try to give you some reasons supporting that idea. So I can say, well, I think that people are better. First, because we have the ability to communicate, well, maybe to create languages, maybe second, because we are more creative, let's say, and third, because of some other reasons. So basically, I'm trying to give you some reasons or some facts in order to support my previous idea, right? That people are better. So that is exactly what you will have here. The author of this article, we're going to call them the author or the writer, has a certain opinion, and he's going to try to support that idea or justify it with some reasons or some arguments. So in that sense, your 4 paragraphs that I mentioned are, each one is going to belong to a specific element that you're going to be looking for. The first one, the first paragraph, is going to be the introduction. And in the introduction, the yellow part, you guys will have the main claim, okay? And the main claim is nothing but the author's opinion, the author's position, what we were saying. So the main claim is going to be like the thesis statement of this article, the point that the author is trying to prove, okay? The author's opinion. So in the introduction, you'll have that main claim. And then you'll have the body of the article. You'll have the body, which are paragraph 2, 3, and 4. All of them are the body. And in the body, you're going to have those reasons or those facts or that evidence supporting the main claim. So the body is trying to prove the main claim. So you have 3 paragraphs in the body. You have paragraph 2, 3, and 4. And each one is going to have a different reason or a different idea supporting this main claim or the author's opinion, right? So you'll just have to find them. But I guarantee it's always going to be like this. You have 4 paragraphs, the main claim, which is in the introduction, and 3 reasons or 3 ideas in 3 different paragraphs. You don't have a conclusion. You are never going to have an extra paragraph or anything. It's always going to be like this. Okay, so for example, I think that in this example here, the author's opinion is that American wood companies are not likely to acquire this eco-certification. So they're not going to acquire this eco-certification according to the author. And he provides a number of reasons, right? He says, first, I don't think that they will because consumers don't trust in advertising. Second, they won't do it because they are motivated by price. So who's going to want to buy an eco-certified product if it's more expensive? And third, he says, I think that American wood companies sell most of the products in the US, so they are already satisfied with the products. So those are the reasons that the author gives to support the idea that these companies are not gonna try to receive this certification. Okay, so I know that's like a more complicated example than the one I previously gave, but it's the same idea, right? It's the same structure. In the introduction, you have the main idea, the main claim, or the author's opinion. And in the body, you have 3 reasons or 3 arguments supporting that opinion. Okay, well, okay, guys, so any questions now about the article or how it's structured? Is it clear? Do you have any questions? Okay, I think I got a response. All right, Marco says it's clear. Okay, guys, so that is what you have to do when you're reading. So when you're reading, by the way, you are allowed to take notes. So you are allowed to have a piece of paper there and a pen, and you can write down some keywords. Now, honestly, I don't recommend you focus on taking notes because the good thing is that this reading, this article is not gonna go anywhere. This article is gonna stay there on your screen throughout the whole writing section. So even when you're writing your essay, you're gonna be able to read it again. So my advice, when you're reading the article, just try to make sure that you catch these 4 elements that I'm telling you, that you understand the author's opinion, and that you understand the reasons that the author is giving. Okay, the opinion and the 3 reasons. Just make sure that you have the main idea, that you know what it is about, and that you're ready to listen to the lecture. Okay, don't worry about taking notes, although you technically are able to, you're allowed to take notes. So if you want to take notes, you can sure do it. You can kind of write down some keywords, right? Maybe you could say wood companies, certification, advertisement, price, and customers. I don't know. So you can do that if you want, but you don't have to, because as I'm telling you, the article will stay on your screen. Okay, it won't go anywhere. In fact, this is kind of how it's gonna look, how your screen will look. Okay, so I don't know why my computer's so slow. Okay, so if you take a look at my screen, this is how your screen will look like when you're in this section of the writing. Okay. Okay, sorry. So here we go. So at the top of your screen, you'll have the question, right? Which is going to ask you to summarize the reading and the lecture. And on the left part, you'll have the article. So you'll have the article there. And on the right side, you're going to have to write or type your essay, right? So here you're going to start typing your essay. And at the same time, you can read the article again. You can extract some words. Technically, you could even copy and paste, right? But that's not a good idea. We're gonna talk about why that's not a good idea. But for now, just know that you don't have to try to memorize the reading or anything. So now that we're done with the reading, the 3 minutes are over. You have read the article already. Next thing that you guys are gonna do is listen to this lecture, right? Now this lecture is gonna be, the lecture is gonna kind of have the same structure as in the reading. So you will still have 4 elements to identify. But what the lecture will do is the lecture will try to object every single thing that the author has said. So you remember the author's opinion? Well, the professor, which is the speaker, the lecturer, the lecturer, the person who's speaking in the listening, the professor will have the exact, the exact opposite opinion of what the author had. So if in the reading, for example, they say that people are better than animals, the lecturer will say the opposite, right? That animals are better, or that people are not better than animals. So if the first idea was about empathy, the lecturer's idea will also be about empathy. So this is really easy to follow, I would say, because once you have read the article and you know what the ideas are, then it's way easier for you to understand the lecture and catch those 4 elements. Okay, you're just gonna have to do the same thing that we did for the reading. You're gonna have an introduction in the beginning. So maybe I can show you a transcript. Okay, so this is a transcript of a lecture. So you still have the introduction, although it's shorter, but you have it, it's in yellow. You have the first idea, which is about the same thing, advertising, if you remember. You have the second idea in the second paragraph, we could say, and finally the last one, which is in green. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to say is the structure of the lecture is exactly the same as the structure of the reading. The only difference is that they have opposing views. They have different ideas, right? While the reader is in favor of something, the lecturer is against it. If the reader says that, I don't know, that let's say that solar energy is a great idea, then the professor is probably gonna say the opposite. So you just need to remember that and you will be okay. This is never gonna change. You still have those 4 elements, 1 opinion and 3 supporting reasons. Okay. So what about now? Do you have any questions so far as to the lecture? Any questions? Feel free to ask. Nope. Okay. So we're gonna do an example now, and then we'll see what you have to do and how you have to write your essay. But let's look at an example. Okay, so this is gonna be the reading, the article. It doesn't have a title, you just have to start reading it. So what do you